So as you all know, Joe Biden was diagnosed with cancer. It was prostate cancer. But in the statement, they said it had already metastasized to the bone. Now, my father had cancer and died from cancer. And I remember, basically, if they say you're at the point where the cancer has metastasized to the bone, you've had it for a while. You've had it. Like, it's not like, they just discovered it now. No. If it metastasized to the bone, you've been struggling for a long, long, long time, right? So Dr. Zeke Emanuel on MSNBC talking to Joe Scarborough, and he's sort of saying the quiet part out loud here about Biden's diagnosis. So let's watch, and then I'll have a lot to say about it.
You're an oncologist, obviously incredibly respected. You believe that it is likely, just for those just tuning in, you believe it is likely, if this prostate cancer has spread to the bone, that he could have had it for up to a decade, but certainly it's likely. Would it be fair to say it's likely to have had this for at least several years?
Oh, more than several years. You don't get prostate cancer.
So I just want to stop you. So this is not speculation. If you have prostate cancer that is spread to the bone, then he's most certainly, you were saying, had it when he was president of the United States.
Oh, yeah. He did not develop it in the last 100, 200 days. He had it while he was president. He probably had it at the start of his presidency in 2021. Yes, that I don't think there's any disagreement about that.
I don't think there's any disagreement about, oh my God. Wow. Now, there was this video, I think it was in 2022, and Biden was given a speech, and he said that he had cancer. And at the time, everybody was like, oh, another Biden gaffe. But now you look back at it, and it's like, maybe he did, and he was telling the truth. So, holy cow. Look, the reason why this is important is because, we already knew that there was a bunch of gaslighting going on about his mental health. Everybody knows that now. And in retrospect, it's so fucking obvious that it's infuriating that they ever try to pretend like he was doing great. But if it was not just, his mental health declining, but also he was dealing with cancer, according to this guy, while he was running for office and trying to be president, that's like criminal. To not disclose that. That's criminal. And again, anybody who would state the obvious, they would be called like right-wing hacks. Unless and until it became so fucking obvious that it was the Democratic Party itself, to their credit, that sort of forced him out, right? You needed moves from like Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi and others to effectively force Biden's hand to be like, you got to go. Which it's good in the sense that that's further than any Republican would ever go. If Trump ends up having cancer, if Trump ends up, his brain starts leaking out of his ears, there won't be any Republicans who come out and say, oh yeah, he's got to step down. Won't happen. So in a sense, the Democrats are better on that front. But if Biden and his team, if they were hiding this from everybody all the way back when he was running for president the first time, that's like criminally fraudulent. Because if the country knew, stop and think about this. If the country knew that was the case, there's no way he would have got through the primary. There's no way. There's not a chance. Remember, Bernie basically won the first 3 contests, and it had never happened in history that somebody had won the first 3 contests and then lost the primary. But what happened was, for all of you who don't remember, you had every other Democrat dropped out of the race after Bernie did great in the first 3 contests, and they all endorsed Biden in this big event. You had Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar and Beto O'Rourke and all these people. They did this big event. Oh, look, we're all endorsing it. This is we got to go. This is the only one who could beat Trump. Biden's the only one who could beat Trump. We got to go in this direction. And if that didn't happen, in other words, Biden needed all the king's horses and all the king's men to get across the finish line. But that entire time he's hiding from us, that he's dealing with cancer, I think if the country knew that, I really don't think I think it would have been, I think Bernie would have won the 2020 primary. And I think Bernie would have been president for 4 years, and we maybe never would have had a second Trump term in this scenario. look, this is the problem with going along to get along, being a party hack, towing the line. Like, you have to be willing to buck orthodoxy and say the controversial but correct thing. And they did anything and everything they could to drown out those voices and call those people crazy and say they're actually right-wing hacks because they're concerned about the future of the country. They're concerned about his ability to govern and to lead and to do the job of president. I mean, this is really grotesque, man. This is really grotesque. Because the deceit that would have to go in to, hiding this the whole time. I mean, it's so immense. It's so immense. It's mind-boggling that they think it's okay. We could do this and we can get away with it and it'll be fine. So now I don't want to belabor the point because right now we're dealing with a robber baron coup and a fascist takeover of our country. And that's where our focus has to be. But to the extent the Democrats do any fucking soul searching, they got to stop with bullshit like this. Stop protecting the gerontocracy for any and all reasons. We just learned Jerry Connolly, the head of the Oversight Committee. He was the head of the Oversight Committee. He just died from cancer. When he was given the position to be the head of the Oversight Committee, they knew he had cancer. He was 74 years old with cancer. They knew it. They gave him the position over Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Oversight Committee is a powerful committee, and like the head of that committee has the potential to be like the leading anti-Trump voice in the country, leading the Democrats out of the wilderness. They screwed AOC and gave it to a 74-year-old with terminal cancer. And like I said, he just died. By the way, 6 House Democrats have died in office in the past 13 months. And here's the list here. 65-year-old, 74-year-old, 87, 70, 77, 75. With every one of these people that die, it becomes easier for the right to pass their horrific legislation. Their massive tax cuts for the rich, their class war on working people, the destruction of healthcare for low-income and disabled people with Medicaid. It's not about you. It's not about Jerry Connolly. It's not about Joe Biden. It's not about, if you are a Democratic politician, I don't give a fuck about your rules of seniority and hierarchy and the process and how it's supposed to work. I care about what works. I care about winning and beating the right. I care about improving the lives of the people in this country. I don't care about your ego. I don't care about your narcissism. I don't care about what you think you're owed because you've been in politics for so long. If you're not good at the job, if you can't handle it, if you're too feeble to actually do what's required, you gotta go. You gotta step aside. You gotta stop gaslighting. You gotta stop lying through your teeth. And by the way, I think it's stuff like this that contributes to those polls that show Democratic voters are furious with Democratic politicians. It's that you are not fighting Trump aggressively. You need to fight him aggressively. And also, clearly, with stuff like this, you guys care more about your own career and your own legacy and your self-aggrandizement. You care about that over what the future of this country and the world is going to look like. It's just not right, man. It's just not right. It's just so self-centered. It's so self-centered. And it ironically, because they want to hang on to power so hard, they end up ruining their legacies anyway. Like, if you were to gracefully step aside at the right time, you would go down with much higher regard. People would look at you and like you're heroic. I mean, we remember what happened with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Obama all but said to her, like, hey, dog, you kind of got to go. You got pancreatic cancer, and God bless you, but I don't want you passing away under a Republican, and then they get to take over the Supreme Court. And she didn't. And then you had all these articles basically doing some girl boss bullshit where it's like, oh, yeah, you go, girl. And what happened? She died in office. Trump got to pick her replacement. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's not about any. It's about the country. It's about fixing it. It's about improving people's lives. And we got to stop with this sort of bullshit, man. We just have to stop. I mean, that's just crazy, bro. It's just so crazy. So according to this doctor, he probably had cancer when he ran the first time, hid it from everybody. And then given that context, guys, stop and think about it. Given that context, it's crazy he ran the first time. But the second time? Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. I can't even wrap my mind around that. That is wild. Wow. Wow. Look, I'm sorry. It's time for a new generation. It's time for a new generation of leadership. It really is. It's time for It's time for young Democratic leaders, but it's not just about age. It's not just about age. It's also about ideology. Young Democratic leaders who will fight Trump every single step of the way and deliver social democracy for us and deliver anti-war policies for us. Like, that's what it really comes down to. And they're really trying everything they can to snuff out the future so they can hang on to their precious power. Not anymore, man. We can't let it happen again. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.